What's up, Lions Nation? It is We Are Lions Nation podcast. This is the Cowboys Lions pregame show for Thursday night football. We have the one and only, the light to my darkness, the Statman. I just came up with that right now, just on my top of my head. And he was lagging, but now he's fine. MCR is here and ready to go.
Yeah, and the Soul Man was wrong. Welcome to the Statman show, and that countdown begins now.
No, it doesn't, Statman, because I'm not pushing it yet. There it goes. Well, here we are. The one and only P-Dubs is in the chat, says, "What's up?" Just like that.
What's up? Let's do it.
Let's go.
And Marco did comment also earlier, but it's not in here anymore, but he did comment earlier.
How's it going, Marco? If you're watching, appreciate you, man.
Subscribers, gentlemen, we are at 360 subscribers on that march to 500, so we gained a few more since yesterday. I think even MCR said 360 was the number yesterday.
Awesome.
And there is Marco. Speaking of the devil, there he is. What's up, Marco? Marco, your comment from earlier isn't in here anymore, so if you can comment what you said earlier so I can share with you guys. I don't remember exactly what you said, but so on tonight's show, we're going to take a look at the Dallas Cowboys Detroit Lions matchup coming up tomorrow night. We're going to look at something new. It's still the head-to-head, but I'm going to use the PFF rankings instead and take a look at those. We have MCR's injury report and inside scoop, featuring a press conference from Dan Campbell and some of Amon-Ra St. Brown's press conference as well. And we have Statman and the Statman Effect tonight.
Ooh.
I mean, this is the Statman show, so we got to have the Statman effect on it.
Definitely not the Statman show.
Damn.
In podcast history.
Oh, that's what Marco said. He said, "Let's effing go. I still believe y'all can win tomorrow." That's what he said.
I got a small sliver of hope.
So thank you all for the new subscribers we got. Head on over, keep an eye out on YouTube for our shorts that are out there. We had put out some funny, great content from yesterday's show. Had a blast playing a 10-play drive. It was a lot of fun. Statman won again, bumping up his wins to 7 wins. Good job, Statman.
I'm still at 2. I'm ahead of P-Dubs, but at least I got 2.
So, Ryan, you have the injury report. I'm going to pop that up here on the screen.
All righty.
Maybe if I can get to it. There it is.
If I can even read it.
I can read it if you need me to.
All right. So starting with the Dallas Cowboys. Ruled out for the game for the Cowboys is left tackle Tyler Guyton. He is banged up with an ankle injury, and he will not be in Thursday's game. And along with him is cornerback Trayvon Diggs. That's a huge blow for the Cowboys. He is battling a knee injury, and he is ruled out as well. And on to our questionables for Thursday's game is defensive end Javon Clowney. He does have, or I'm sorry. Jadeveon Clowney. He has a hamstring injury. He was limited practice on Wednesday, and he is listed as questionable. And then also safety Malik Hooker. He has a back injury, and he is limited. He was limited in practice on Wednesday. And then we're going to jump on over to the meat and potatoes of this all, the Lions. So for Detroit Lions, ruled out is wide receiver Khalif Raymond. He does have an ankle injury, and he is not expected to play in Week 14, Thursday's game. And also for the Lions is tight end Brock Wright. He does have a neck injury, and he will be ruled out for Thursday. And also another tight end, Shane Zystra. He does have a knee injury. He does have some days remaining in the injury evaluation clock. He has 18 days. And also ruled out, unfortunately, big blow for us here, still is safety Kirby Joseph, battling that knee injury. He is ruled out for Thursday's game. And on to our questionables. Questionable for the Lions is running back Sion Baki. He does have a thumb injury, and he is questionable. And also wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown with that ankle injury that he suffered last Thursday in that game against the Packers. He is listed as questionable in day-to-day as of now. And left tackle Taylor Decker does have a shoulder injury. He is resting it. And he was upgraded after a rest day on Thursday to questionable. So signs may point to him being in that game. And we need this one, right tackle Penei Sewell, battling that shoulder injury. He was upgraded to limited practice on Wednesday, so hopefully we can get him in that game. And then center is Keodi Asuwaka. He is downgraded to no practice Wednesday, and he is listed as questionable. And then center, Graham Glasgow. He is battling that knee injury, and he is listed as questionable. And then on to safety, Brian Branch. Hopefully we can have him in the game. He is a monster, battling a toe and an ankle injury. And also, in other news for the Lions, they have signed tight end who was cut by the Dolphins, Giovanni Rucci. He was signed by the Lions. And if for those of you just tuning in, make sure that you share, like, follow, subscribe, and get the word out there about Lions Nation Podcast. And don't forget that you could have a chance to win a Lions signed piece of memorabilia from us here at Lions Nation. All you have to do is enter the 10-play drive on Friday nights, and you can do that by email at wearelionsnation.com. And it's a simple form to fill out.
Thank you, MCR. And I do have to say, I would have probably not gotten that name right either.
Yeah, I messed it up.
Awasika.
Awasika.
I will say that Marco, during your
Coyote
injury
Awasika.
report, did have a nice comment in here.
Javon Kinclad.
Oh, God.
Kinclad attacks again.
Cowboys,
Yeah.
and Perry says Cowboys must be one of the most healthiest squads. Only 2 out and 2 questionable. That's crazy.
Yeah, Diggs is the big one over there for them.
I want to touch up on a couple things that I have here for the Lions. St. Brown, it looks like we're not going to know for him for sure until at least 90 minutes before kickoff. Decker is going to play. Panay Sewell is going to play. And Branch is expected to play as well. So I just want to make sure those questionable guys, that I know there's a little more to them in this report. So I wanted to make sure we touched on that. Also, we have the press conferences. We're going to see what Amon-Ra St. Brown had to say about his injury.
How's the ankle feeling?
How's it feeling? It hurts, but it's getting better. So that's the good news. Just day by day, just trying to make sure I'm out there for my guys.
What do you have to do to kind of get ready for the game day, or at least try to get ready?
I think for me, especially for not practicing, just mental reps. Everything's mental. For me, I'm used to being out there, getting the actual reps on the practice field. So just making sure I'm in my playbook, and make sure I know where to line up, adjustments, everything. That's the biggest thing. It's lot mentally.
Something that has to happen for you to speed, the cutting, pain tolerance. I know it's high.
Mm-hmm.
Just, at what point do you say I can't do it? It limits me out.
Yeah, I would say speed, but I would just say more like cutting, stopping, being able to change direction. Because I feel like, the position that I play, just the receiver position in general, everyone thinks it's just run straight, but I think that's the least of my concerns is running straight. It's can I stop? Can I cut? Can I do all the little things, the little movements that you don't even think about when you're out there? That's the biggest thing. So just making sure that I can do those.
All right, Statman. So that's what St. Brown had to say when he was asked about his injury. I believe that was earlier today. You heard the injury report. What do you think, Statman? What's your opinion here?
I think at most he'll be limited in the game, limited reps. But I honestly don't see them risking him injuring himself any further than he is until he's at least 75%. You know what I mean? Like he was just explaining, it's the small things, the cuts, the movements, the turning, the bending on routes. It's going to bother his ankle. You're putting a lot of weight down on your ankle, turning your leg on that ankle. It's like a pivot for your leg. So it's going to be tough for him to come back for tomorrow's game. I highly doubt he'll play tomorrow, but that's just my personal opinion.
I feel like if it wasn't a shorter week and, if they had till Sunday, I think we'd have a better chance of seeing him in. But for him for them to not know until up to the game time, it's tough. But I agree with you. They have Tesla they can put in there. They can make it work without him for one more game. So maybe the best thing to do would be to let him heal up fully. And the good news is, though, a lot of you probably saw Kirby Joseph did come back to practice, and he looked like he was just about ready to go. I think this one more week might be precaution. But we'll have to see what he does next week in practice. But he looked pretty good in practice. There was videos of him running around, moving around really good. So I think we're going to get Kirby Joseph back probably after this week is my guess.
Well, Kirby wants to come back to play against his son, Matthew Stafford. So
What?
Yeah, he's Stafford's daddy.
Well, hopefully he plays like it when they play him. But
well, look,
yeah,
we're gonna need St. Brown and we're gonna need Kirby Joseph when it comes to the Rams next week. That is gonna be something.
Yeah, we kind of need him for this game too. Not knowing St. Brown, he might be in some jump ball situations too, and he can't land on that ankle like that. So, I think
maybe if he gets it heavily taped, maybe that'll be strong enough for him to suit up. We'll have to see how he feels when it comes to game time. Right now, before we move on, we're going to take a listen to Dan Campbell.
And just looking around the NFL, it seems like we've seen a couple upsets every week this season. The league maybe more volatile than ever. How does the landscape of the league and the idea that everyone might be flawed, everyone might be beatable, change the way you view the ceiling outlook for your own team?
It doesn't change. I don't think it changes anything. I know for where we're at, it just goes back to, man, all you can worry about is what is right in front of you. And you got to play the best game that you can play and manage this game the best that you can. We know that's a potent offense over there. They're playing really good defensive football. This D-line is strong, very strong. And I just go back to this, man. It's going to take all three phases. We need all three units to step up for us and play big. They're hot right now. They're playing really good football. They got a lot of confidence. They're a rugged team. They are built off the O-line, D-line, but they got explosiveness on the perimeter. And Dak's playing at a high level, man. So look, we know we got our hands full, but we're up to the challenge. We're up to it, and we know what's in front of us. And you can't worry about the other teams that are out there, the other teams that are in front of you, or what it looks like in the NFC. You just can't, and it doesn't matter. Shoot, you went out, you might not get in, but you don't know, right? Hell, maybe it only takes 11 again. I don't know, but I know this: we got to win this one.
I like that. I like that it ended there, because that can be a more true statement in my eyes that the Lions have to win this game.
Yeah,
Maybe,
they do.
I don't know, Statman, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is absolutely a must-win for any kind of playoff hopes. Right now, they're just hopes and dreams. You got some strong teams ahead of them right now. They're sitting in the 7th spot, 6th spot, 5th spot. I mean, it's going to be a tough road ahead of them, and it starts one game at a time, like Dan Campbell said. You can't look at the teams ahead of you. You got to focus on this game. And he's up for the challenge. He thinks the team's up for the challenge. Hopefully they're ready to go, because it's a tough team they're playing against.
Yeah, and I mean, we know from last week the Lions are sitting in that 8th spot, and the Cowboys are sitting in the 9th spot as of right now. So they're right there. This is definitely a game that the Lions need to win.
I think the Cowboys are like the second best in pass protection right now in the league. So it's going to be a tough go for
just
Aiden
gonna
Hutchinson.
bring that up. The power rankings, this is from PFF. The Cowboys are ranked 17th overall. The Lions right now are ranked 6th overall. Why did that go off? Thing. Cowboys defense is ranked 29th versus the Lions offense, which is ranked 7th. Then you have the Cowboys offense, which is ranked 8th versus the Lions defense, which is ranked 16th. I don't know why that thing keeps popping off the screen when I put it on, but hopefully you guys caught all that.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this all the time about paper. It looks good on paper. It looked good on paper against Green Bay. And look what happened. We got to see what team comes out to play, because if they come out with tenacity, they come out with an urgency, they come out with aggressiveness right off the rip, and they play that way throughout the entire game, I see them being able to hang with Dallas. But if they sit there and slack, they do stupid penalties, you give up the ball at midfield on a 4th down attempt conversion, you're not going to win this game. So it's just going to come down to fundamentals, and they're going to have to play a sound game of football.
Yeah, it's like everything you just said there. And I know the numbers are the numbers. I like to show them just so we can compare by numbers. But like you said, the numbers look good a lot of times, and it didn't turn out the way the Lions wanted. But if we get the Lions team that is capable of putting up 30 points, I think we have a good chance. But if the Lions team that showed up the last few weeks shows up, I think we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So, MCR?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree with everything Statman said. I mean, we have to be more energetic. There's no excuse for this defense. I mean, yeah, we have a few guys banged up on defense, but our offense has been a little more banged up, and our offense is the one that's fighting and clawing us back. But our defense kind of helps. But we got to stop allowing so many points and stop allowing players like Wandale Davis to look like Randy Moss, you know, and that's my fear of George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb right now. They're both going to be like Mike Thomas and Randy Moss out there. I don't know. I hope we can get some pressures and some takeaways and capitalize on it, and also make good decisions. If you're in field goal range on 4th and 3 and you have that shot to get 3 points, take the 3 points. Don't gamble it. And that's really all I have to say. We have to play energetic too. Past couple games, I don't know what's happened. We don't seem as energetic as this defense should be. There's no excuse for this defense. More of an excuse for the offense.
And I want to bring up something too that P-Dubs brought up to us. Look at what happened, how Aiden Hutchinson played before his big contract and how he's played since his big contract. It's almost like that money's gotten to his head in a way. And he's not playing the same since that big contract's been signed.
And I remember Perry bringing that up. And when he brought that up, I immediately went back to in my head because I saw a video of Aiden Hutchinson being interviewed. It must have been last week. And he was actually talking about, because you brought it up too last week, it was about you got to play to your, you got paid. Now you got to play like you got paid type of thing. And that's what he said. He said, hey, I got the contract. Now I have to play like I have the contract. I have to play like what I'm being paid to play like. And he even said that he hasn't been playing up to his standards and needed to turn that up. So it kind of goes along with what you guys are saying. He even brought it up in an interview himself. So he definitely has seen it.
And it's going to be the first time Aiden Hutchinson's playing against Dallas since breaking his leg against Dallas last year.
Yeah. Hopefully he can get some redemption in this game, but I don't know. On paper, everything looks, the offense, defenses are pretty evenly matched, but, game time, it's completely different than on paper, but,
you look at this point last season, at this point in this week, the Lions, I think, were ranked 11-1, and now they're 7-5. So something is definitely amiss. And they started out really good. We started out 30 points per game. Offense was clicking, and then it stopped. Was it the play calling from our offensive coordinator? I thought so until that didn't seem to work either. And then MCR's point of kicking the damn field goals. Look, Dan Campbell just said this week that their identity, they're going to go for it on 4th down because that's their identity. But he did say that he's got to be better about it. So maybe we'll see a cutback on that. I think he needs to be. I understand that this is Detroit's identity. We're going to go for it on 4th down. We're going to knock it in your teeth, but be smart about it. You don't want to do that in certain situations on the field, or if you have an opportunity to get 3 points, which could in the end get you a victory, take the 3 points if it's not worth going for the 4th down, if it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. If you're down, let's say they're down, a field goal could get them the win. If it's 4th and 3, kick go for the touchdown. Let's say the field goal can't get them the win, but the touchdown can. They're down 4. Get the touchdown to get the win when you need it. Don't go for it when you don't need it. And it's really not their identity. It's only been their identity in the whole Lions history since Dan Campbell.
Well, it's Dan Campbell's team identity.
Yeah, exactly. But to say that it's the Lions' identity, not really. It's only because of Dan Campbell since he stepped in. That's been their identity. Anybody else has never done that.
Well, I also think too, it's a good idea going for it on 4th down, but have the right fucking play.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but have the right play drawn up.
Yep.
You know what they're doing to you all game long, and then you sit there and go into shotgun formation and do a draw Jahmyr Gibbs in the middle of the defense that's been stuffing you all game long in the middle. It makes no sense. Do a different play. Swing out pass. Have Gibbs go up the A gap and go out. Do something. You can't just sit there and keep doing the same stuff and think it's going to work after you try it so many times. It doesn't work that way. If it's not working, go to something else.
And Statman, I like that you brought that up because a lot of people have been saying that the play calling itself, the plays throughout the entire game, have not been being called right. In any of the situations, the play calling seems to be not where it needs to be. We saw Morton, Dan Campbell took that responsibility away from Morton, but yet it still doesn't seem to be working. And then when you have Dan Campbell mentioning the special teams as well, like when he says that, Statman, what is he saying? Like what exactly is he trying to bring up with the special teams? Like, are we allowing too many yards on the kick returns or the punt returns? Is that what he is mainly referring to when it comes to special teams itself?
I think he's just trying to say that he's going to be overlooking it because of the fact that we did allow quite a few big returns where returners got past the 50 or up in that area, and it kills you on a defense. Now you're on short field.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, on fourth down situations when you're close to midfield, punt the ball. Get them pinned back. It's the easiest way to do it, easiest way to play defense. Defenses love playing when they got the offense backed up into their own end zone. And
yes,
defensive
because what does
linemen,
that do? That makes that offense. It's different plays that they're going to have to call if they're backed up, at at their own 10-yard line instead of plays that they can call at the 50-yard line. Like it's a totally different game. They got almost a whole field to go. So I see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
But I want to get back to real quick the play calling, Statman, and get your take on this because it's something that's been talked about a lot. There was changes made, but what exactly do the Lions have to do to get back to where they were at in your eyes?
I think you just have to get back to fundamentals. The fundamentals of football. First starts up front with the offensive line. Figure out what's going on with communication up there. Why are guys missing blocks? Why are guys missing assignments? Why are defensive linemen coming in untouched? It makes no sense when you have a star defensive tackle rushing through the middle of the line or a defensive end like Micah Parsons, and he's coming in and getting a clean shot on Jared Goff without even getting touched. That should not happen. The quarterback is the number one priority on the offensive line. The offensive line's job is to protect him so he can throw the ball, so he can make a play. You got to start at the front. Something's going on in that offensive line where there's a lack of communication or no communication at all, and we need to figure that out. So that starts with Hank Fraley. Hank Fraley's got to get his offensive line going. He's a great coach, former offensive line in the NFL for years, veteran. So I see him getting them ready to go, but it's gonna be a tough task against Dallas, especially with Quinnen Williams there in the middle. He's gonna be wreaking havoc on us.
All right, we need to get to the Statman Effect.
Statman Effect.
In full effect.
And yes,
every game has a turning point, and every turning point has a player behind it. This is the Statman Effect, where we break down the impact players who shift the momentum, flip the field, and change the outcome of the game. It's not just about the stats. It's the players who make the stats matter. Some show up on the highlight reel. Others control the game from the shadows. But they all have one thing in common. They influence the outcome.
Here we go again, Frozen.
Got it. One thing is on the one. That's why I hate doing this on my phone. One thing's out way up here. One thing's way down here. So it takes me. I have to scroll. But either way, Statman. It is time for the Statman Effect. So who do you have today in that category?
So on offense, we're going to start there. My Statman Effect player of this game that's going to change the outcome, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's who I got. We need that guy rolling. We need him to get the yards. We need to get him to be able to set up Jared Goff for play action where Jared Goff prevails. He loves play action passing. We've talked about this. His numbers are through the roof on off play action. So we need to get him back to the fundamentals of what the Lions do and what Jared Goff does best. Defensively, I'm going Aiden Hutchinson. Big money man. Let's put that money where your mouth is, dude. We want to see you on the field. We want to see you hitting the quarterback. We want to see you getting a couple sacks. You did it last year against Dak. You even finished that sack where you broke your leg and took his ass down. So we need you back out there and take down Dak Prescott and these Cowboys and shut their mouths. On special teams, I'm going with the same guy, Tom Kennedy. Guy stepped in for Khalif Raymond, had some big returns for us. Also was on offense, made a couple big catches for us. I see him being a big impact player in this game against Dallas.
I like it, Statman. I like your picks. They are good ones to make sense. Tom Kennedy did really good last week for us, by the way. He was pretty standout.
Yeah, he was. Pressing plays.
He's a guy that when he's given his opportunities, he makes the most of them. Anytime he's ever touched the field for the Lions, and he's been on and off our roster for the last 5 years, I want to say, and every time he gets a call up, hey, man, we're going to need you to play in this game, he makes plays. He's an impact player. I don't know why he has been sitting on the practice squad for so long, but I'm looking for him to have a big game. So
next up, we have the score predictions for this week. Before we do that, I just want to announce that we will be back on Friday for our post-game show, but we are also going to mix that in like we did last week with our NFL show. So come hang out with us this Friday for that at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I believe Dustin Clark will be joining us to take on the crew in the 10-play drive. As a contestant, he's going to go for another shot. So, Dustin, we are hopeful and glad that you are going to give it another go. Let's take a look at the score predictions from this week from all the guys here. I have the Lions winning 34-21. Statman has Dallas winning 42-27. And Motor City Ryan has Dallas winning 34-24.
Yep, sounds about right.
Marco says, hell yeah. Statman, there's only one thing left for you to do tonight to hopefully boost the Lions to their victory.
Well, you know what I do every pregame show? I sing the Lions fight song. Let's get this team hyped. Let's play as a team tomorrow, and hopefully you guys can get the win. But my gut is telling me we're going to lose, so let's do this. Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield, and when the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave. Rah, 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 go hard, win the game. With honor you will keep your fame. Down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions! One pride, baby.
One pride. Marco said that the Lions win in overtime 34-31.
Ooh,
It could happen.
possible.
I'm hoping. My heart still got hope for the Lions.
Again, on behalf of myself, Statman, and MCR. Thank you all for joining us tonight for our pregame show. We will see you guys all Friday night.
Peace.